was hard.
Hey everyone, this weekend I took on back-to-back runs. First up, the rescheduled Le Javier 8km run on Friday evening, then the Gandia 10km nocturnal run on Saturday. Two very different courses, two very different experiences. Let's dive in. Last Friday's rescheduled Loyeria 10km run turned into an 8km, thankfully shorter, course when a thunderstorm threatened the usual village loop. I almost skipped it, teaching commitments nearly won, but my quest for that Circuit Val d'Albaida hoodie, I think at least 15 events completed are needed to get it, pushed me out of the door. I rolled into Loyeria way too early, only to realise I'd managed to park at the wrong end of the town and had zero clue as to where the start was. Race instructions are never my strong point. So, picture me, GPS in one hand and broken Spanish in the other, pestering bemused locals until one finally understood half of what I said and managed to point me in the right direction. At the start line, the race announcer was dressed as a cow, of course. Fabulous with rosettes and udders, naturally. Chatting with some regulars, I learned that even the veterans warned that this one was pretty tough by circuit standards. A quick glance at the food benches made me wonder if any of the pizza and watermelons there would survive until I finished. The gun went off. No village loops, just a dusty lap of the playing field, then straight into a 4km climb. I shuffled on up without a single walk break, yay, convinced that the downhill section was just a few minutes away. But of course, just as I settled into a bit of a descent, the course threw in another climb, because why not? At around 6 kilometers, a spectator very helpfully shouted, "You're halfway there!" Yeah, right. Finally, the genuine downhill carried me back into the village. The polysports showers were great, and the post-race party that we had in the village was a victory. All in all, another 52 minutes of running, another tick on the hoodie checklist. I woke up on Saturday feeling like I'd run a marathon already. My left leg was in full protest, so I needed a pull dip in the afternoon to try and rescue it. Veronica swung by to pick me up and we detoured through Atzeneta to grab Jose Maria and Isabel. Cue a mini road trip adventure, finding the Playa Gandia route and a parking spot with bib pickup closing time approaching soon. Thankfully, Spanish on-time grace saved us, and I even bumped into young Timo from the local builders merchants at the bib tent. Fruit containers and banana cutting volunteers everywhere. Overpacked into the 45-minute plus corral, we blasted off under the floodlights. My cranky leg, mysteriously quiet, just kept ticking over. The first few kilometres were, in all honesty, a crawl, thanks to the massive early bottleneck at kilometre 2. But the cheering crowds and familiarity with the course kept me going. Veronica had shot off like a rocket, but I settled into a steady plod where Jose Maria and Javier were behind me somewhere. By kilometre 5 I grabbed some water that technically I didn't really need, mostly to douse my overheating head and brace myself for the final 2.5 kilometre stretch along the beachfront. It felt absolutely endless. So crossing the line at 10.08 kilometres in 1 hour and 26 seconds was a delightful surprise. Post-race, I supervised the car while the others braved the beach showers. Then we joined Javier and the gang at Coco's for a well-earned feast. Night runs don't get much better than that. I hope you can join me next week at the Aguient run, back onto the circuit. If you've actually made it this far to the end of the video, congratulations. That's awesome. So thank you very much. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share it with your fellow runners.